Veterans carry immense authority. They are a major focal point of attention for the international community. We established the first joint U.S. veteran business in Ukraine. People view veterans as valuable human capital with experience, capabilities, and the highest motivation to rebuild the country. There's a training program tailored specifically for veterans in the oil and gas sector, and trainees will travel to the U.S. to exchange experiences. It's a historic deal, a historic arrangement, and a historic memorandum between the Ministry of Veterans Affairs, our association, and major U.S. businesses.
We are happy to welcome you back to Washington, Serhii. Today we are in a truly iconic location. Right here, behind us, is the monument to Taras Shevchenko, the Ukrainian writer. For anyone who might not know that we have such a powerful monument here in Washington, we are so glad to see you again.
I am very glad to see you too. For me, it is also symbolic to be standing right here, next to this monument to Taras Hryhorovych, who is undoubtedly a symbol of the Ukrainian people's fight for freedom. Not just for independence, but for freedom. Because today is also a significant day, U.S. Independence Day. And here we are, next to a prominent Ukrainian freedom fighter. Moreover, our fallen hero, Denis Antipov, was here. He is commemorated on a special memorial plaque in the Pantheon of the Glory of Askold's grave. His parents asked me to record a small speech in his memory at this spot. So thank you very much for helping to honor the memory of our fallen military entrepreneur heroes.
Thank you so much for your service. We deeply honor the memory of all those who have fallen and all those who are still serving on the front lines today. We are incredibly grateful to all of them.
Absolutely. Especially today when the military, Ukrainian service members and veterans play such an important role in shaping the international agenda. And that's not just in a military sphere, but also in terms of politics, business, society, and civic engagement.
Tell us, please, are there any news or updates since our last meeting? Actually, not maybe, there definitely are. So, what's new since our last conversation?
Well, first of all, regarding what's new with our association, we've become an all-Ukrainian organization because we expanded into the regions and opened local branches. So now, our association has local chapters in several regional centers across Ukraine. That's the first thing. Second, we've launched the next phase of our strategy to bridge veteran and civilian businesses. This is incredibly important right now because when military veterans return, they need to transition back to a civilian life as fully as possible. That's why the name of our association now is the Association of Entrepreneurs and Veterans. In other words, we are bridging these two groups together, helping them integrate and collaborate as closely as possible. On top of that, we recently participated in the URC, the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Gdansk, as part of the delegation from the Ministry of Veterans Affairs. I'll say that I saw firsthand that veterans carry immense authority. They are a major focal point of attention for the international community, especially regarding the recovery of Ukraine. People view veterans as valuable human capital with experience, capabilities, and most importantly, the highest motivation to rebuild the country, and, of course, reputation. Because these people proved their patriotism and commitment with weapons in hand when they took up rifles and went to fight.
We also know that a memorandum was recently signed between the Association of Entrepreneurs and Veterans of Ukraine, the Ministry of Veterans Affairs of Ukraine, and the American company AZ Star, as well as the company Kobe. which is based in Buffalo, New York. Could you please tell us about this memorandum?
Ну, дивіться, компанії Astar і компанія Kobe
Astar and Kobe Incorporated are federal contractors for the Pentagon.
на сьогодні вони виробляють
Today, they manufacture oil and gas extraction equipment. Since the mineral agreement outlines cooperation with Ukraine, well, not just Ukraine, but more broadly cooperation on the supply, installation, logistics, and operation of this equipment, we reached an agreement.
то ми домовилися.
I believe this is a historic deal, a historic arrangement.
And a historic memorandum between the Ministry of Veterans Affairs,
Our association, and major U.S. businesses. What it means is that government institution, in this case, the Ministry of Veterans Affairs, has agreed with American businesses to involve veteran-owned companies in executing this part of the mineral agreement. That's number one. Number two, involving them as contractors, logistics providers, and partners. This is a full-fledged partnership. Right now, we are discussing, well, not just discussing, we have already agreed on organizing specialized training as well as trips for Ukrainian military veterans here to visit their manufacturing facilities. This will involve a full exchange of experience on using this equipment, entering U.S. markets, and operating directly here inside the U.S. for veteran businesses.
This American company you partner with, AZStar, is a Pentagon contractor. This is, in essence, a direct collaboration with an American company. What kind of experience does this partnership bring you?
With Astar, first of all, we have a long-standing partnership. We established the first joint U.S. veteran business in Ukraine. Astar has extensive experience working with the government, specifically the U.S. government. This experience will be shared with Ukrainian veteran-owned enterprises and veteran entrepreneurship as a whole. Just the day before yesterday, we met with Congressman Nathaniel Morin, who highlighted the critical role of Ukraine and Ukrainian veterans in exchanging experience that is vital to national security of the United States. As a result, Ukrainian veterans gained first-hand experience in entering and operating with U.S. markets, collaborating with veteran-owned companies, and ensuring compliance with the U.S. laws, learning how to establish U.S. companies, how to own them, and how to abide by the law. On the other hand, they bring back their own military and entrepreneurial experience gained under highly unique circumstances, along with their innovative products, especially from the defense segment, which will undoubtedly benefit both U.S. national security and the U.S. economy. This story with Kobe and Astar Business Management Company is highly illustrative. Initially, we established the first joint U.S. veteran enterprises in Ukraine. These professionals, American oil industry figures from the energy sector, have already invested over $5 million into veteran-owned companies in Ukraine. In other words, veterans successfully secured American investment for the Ukrainian economy. This is a powerful example. Furthermore, we eliminated any potential reputational risks or volatile elements from these deals. Our American colleagues are extremely grateful to us for that. This is why the example of Kobe and Astar serves as a model for other companies. We also have FinStream, a veteran financial service. It is a financial institution that funds veteran-owned companies, a fully licensed financial company with its own investment fund. It attracted serious attention at the Ukraine Recovery Conference. Highly prominent figures in the financial world, such as Lena Kozarny, founding partner and CEO of Horizon Capital, spoke about FinStream at the event's largest side event hosted by the American Chamber of Commerce. She highlighted FinStream as a viable business with a sustainable business and financial model, offering prospects for a strong profitability. Consequently, even there in Gdańsk, American businesses took notice of veteran-owned companies partnering with Astar and Kobe in the energy segment.
They also noticed FinStream,
which is capable of working with U.S. companies in the capital markets, as well as the FinStream Investment Fund, which can collaborate with major financial sector players in traditional banking, such as Raiffeisen Bank.
This memorandum we discussed also provides for veteran training in Ukraine and the US. Could you please tell us how this process is organized? Who can participate and perhaps share some details?
Right now, literally tomorrow, I'm visiting the manufacturing facilities of Kobe, Siemens, and Astar to build the program for these training sessions. Once I return to Ukraine, we will select the businesses from the energy sector first. Second, we will collaborate and are already closely cooperating with Naftogaz Group. They have a training program tailored specifically for veterans in the oil and gas sector. I believe we will select an initial pilot group of trainees to travel to the US to exchange experience on how to do businesses with Americans in the energy sector. That is the first point. Second, those who successfully complete the training will secure their first contracts. Third, we will identify the priority sectors ourselves. For example, what is needed first? Logistics? Who will handle the deliveries? Who will handle shipping across America if Ukrainians establish companies, from partnerships or ship goods from Ukraine to American manufacturers? Then, there is legal and regulatory compliance, and of course, guidance and support at every stage of the partnership.
How does the selection process work? What steps must a company take to participate?
First and foremost, we have a specialized 3-level entrepreneurship training course within our ecosystem. Veteran entrepreneurs must complete this business training, pitch their ideas, and pass certain exams. First, they earn a certificate, and then they pitch their specific project for collaborating with Americans to qualify for the group. I won't say these groups will be large. Right now, we are just starting to test the waters. But these are the first steps, and the road is conquered by the one who walks it.
Mr. Pozniak, the US also has veteran programs run through the Small Business Administration and other organizations. What prospects do you see in training through these types of US structures?
First and foremost, it offers experience in working with the government. The primary program of the U.S. Small Business Administration centers on public procurement. It has 3 components. One of these components is a mandatory 3% allocation for service-disabled veterans and individuals with war-related disabilities. 3%. Can you imagine the scale of those numbers? Second, it involves collaborating with American businesses that already work with the government, such as Astar Business Management Company, so they can teach our veterans how to properly set up companies, operate within the legal framework, and bid on U.S. tenders. The third direction is, of course, lobbying, ensuring we protect the interests of veteran entrepreneurship here in America.
because I am certain that cooperation with the U.S. market is not limited to just 2 companies.
Of course, course, they are pioneers and hold priority, but this interaction will expand.
Вони мають пріоритет, але
The number of participating companies and American partners will grow.
партнерів буде зростати.
Consequently, the interests of our veterans and veteran-owned businesses in the U.S. must be protected legally, internationally, and through engagement with the U.S. Congress, Senate, and government. That is exactly what we are working on.
What are the most common challenges a Ukrainian veteran is likely to face today if they want to start a business?
Today, it is access to capital. This is the primary challenge, and it has been addressed very successfully here in the U.S. We must leverage this successful American experience. Ultimately, access to capital is the main barrier preventing veteran-owned companies and veteran entrepreneurs, owners of veteran businesses returning from the war, from competing on an equal footing with civilian companies that remained in the rear, operating and growing. Our legislation is highly dynamic. Our technological, IT, and AI landscape is also extremely dynamic. Over the last 4 years, everything has changed and advanced so rapidly, and regulations have shifted. When you are at war, you simply aren't aware of these developments. You return and don't know what to do. You have to learn. The U.S. methodology for this type of training and onboarding in veteran entrepreneurship is incredibly strong. We must adapt these skills to the Ukrainian context.
So this memorandum has already been signed. It is very interesting to understand what the next steps are, the practical steps, and where people can find more information about all of this.
The memorandum is signed,
and we are already taking action.
This is not just a piece of paper. I'm already here. Tomorrow, I will be in Buffalo, then at Simon's, and then the day after that in New Jersey at Astar Business Management Company. All of these companies are coming together right now to help Ukrainian veterans enter the business in the energy sector. The next step? Please follow our official social media pages and our website. We are currently developing this program with the Americans,
And we will announce the next step on our public channels within the next 2 weeks.
Mr. Pozniak, thank you very much. We are always glad to see you here in Washington. Thank you so much for your service and for transitioning to serve on the economic front after serving at the front. You are truly paving the way for all veterans. Thank you very much.
and thank you for covering issues that are important to the American community right here in America, in the United States. People know about the challenges veterans face. They are so aware of them that they are speaking about them directly at the URC. I actually have a video on Facebook where Lena Kazarny talks about this issue. The whole world already knows about it. And I believe that once everyone is aware, they will start getting involved and solving these problems. Ms. Valeria, I want to personally present you and your organization, which truly supports us during every visit, with the symbolic challenge coin of our association. It is already a rare item because there won't be any more of them. Only about 15 are left. This is because it represents the ATO veterans, whereas going forward, we will have veterans of Ukraine. This is a token of trust. A challenge coin is always a token of trust. And this coin is also a symbol of transition. Look, here is our symbolic combat patch. This is what it looks like, which our servicemen and women wore as they went to war, facing death. And this is our civilian logo. This coin symbolizes the transition from military to civilian business. Here we have a stylized horseshoe and a style. You see, it is even a business trident, wearing a tie. I am deeply grateful to you, sincerely grateful for your support, for everything you do here, and for hosting us. And this is how a challenge coin is presented.
Thank you very much. This is a great honor, and we are truly glad to cover these important issues. So thank you, and thank you so much for your trust.
Glory to Ukraine.